Last time we were here and spoke with Alistair Thompson. The SKN team was off to Antigua, and he had some bold predictions, of course. And the team, we understood, was very fit and ready for the tournament. Alistair, having gone through the tournament, how do you feel the practice, the training, the readiness that you talked about? How did that work out in Antigua?
Curtis, good evening to the viewers, and I must say, good evening and thanks for your support while we were in Antigua for 10 days. The training I think the training is what took us through that tournament. It was a rough tournament, playing sometime twice per day, playing games 2 o'clock in the boiling sun. It had to be in the training and the fitness that took us through that.
How did the girls stand up? Generally, did you have a lot of substitutions, injuries, that kind of stuff to deal with?
Well, the game that we played at 2 o'clock, I can tell you 2 of our players fainted on the court. I mean, they had the doctor work overtime on that day along with the trainer, so it was harsh condition. It's what it was. We lost that game, I think, by 4 goals. It was hard, but it's what it is.
And that reminds me that the doctor and the trainer, they must be congratulated. Apparently, they really had some serious work to do.
Well, I think they work overtime. This tournament shows up a lot of injuries on these girls. I'm talking about at least 6, 7 of them was plagued with injuries. Some old injuries that popped back up, some new injuries. And so the doctor and the trainer, they work overtime. A lot of people don't even understand. Sometime at the after game in the morning, the trainer work right up until 4, 5 o'clock on these girls to have them ready for the game at 6 or 7 o'clock. So they work, and we want to thank them.
You promised me the championship trophy. You had some close games. Talk us through some of these games.
Because you gotta want something bad enough to go for it. Let's take the Dominica game that we lost by 4 goals. That was a game we should have won. We should have won that game. Again, I think after we had the incident with the 2 ladies fainting on the court, I think the whole team started to check themselves and pull back. You know, and I think that's where the game just slipped away from us in that game. St. Lucia game, we were down in the last quarter. I think the girls determined that they wanted that game. The last quarter, I mean, I could remember one Shinette on the bench in the 3rd quarter, and she said, I need to get back on the court. And she went back on, and they decided they rally as a team, and they decided they wanted it, and they took it. And I think that was the spirit at that game. The Antigua game, another game we should have won. By 3 goals. And not only losing the game by 3, we lose 3rd place in the tournament by that same 3 goals. And so it was hard, but again, when the game, one of the disadvantages of this tournament, I must say though, there was no time clock. So at no point in the game, you know how much time gone and how much leave. Yeah, I don't know. I spoke to the umpire about that, and they have a buzzer on them. So when the time is up, the buzzer goes off and they just blow off. Wow. So at no point. And so, you know, coming down to the last 2 minutes, you could say, okay, let's push ourselves. You didn't know which part of the game you were. And I think that was a disadvantage. Not that we are complaining, because all teams had to deal with it. But I believe, and it's not just St. Kitts Nevis, I heard other teams complaining about that. It was a disadvantage.